We're going to talk about one of your absolute utter obsessions, which is old horror movie posters and memorabilia. Now, Lars has his paintings, James is getting into acting. What does Robert do?
He surfs and,
He surfs, okay.
and plays a lot of bass.
Okay. How did you get into something like this? Because your collection is one of the most comprehensive in the world, I understand.
Yes. Well, it was something that I've been into. Horror movies and the horror movie genre is something I've been into ever since I was a child, ever since I was like 5 or 6 years old. And it was something that I was attracted to initially because it was just so different and had a different sort of feel and atmosphere to a lot of the culture I was getting at the time. And so when I saw my first horror movie, I thought, wow, this is a different type of movie, a different type of story. And I really, really latched onto it, and it never really died out.
Okay, so let's go back to your collection. What are the boundaries that you put on it?
Well, I like anything that is connected to those core group of movies or characters, which is Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, those are like the key characters, and from those key characters, all these other movies have come out, and all these books and movie posters and merchandise and toys and whatnot. The collection that of things that are going to the Toronto Museum is my core collection, or in other words, my 100 best pieces. It's very representative of the horror genre in general, from the turn of last century up until modern times. And you can see the development of horror movie posters, and you can see all the different sort of trends that they went through. I mean, for instance, the movie posters from the 30s are very vivid and have very lush, deep tones. And I look at them, I get a sense of like romance and whatnot, and that makes sense because back in the 30s, the most successful type of movie were romance movies, relationship movies, and so to reel in that audience those ticket buyers, the studios would design the horror movie posters so that they looked like romance movies.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I see that now.
Yeah. It's a very, very subtle thing.
So there's exactly what we're kind of talking about here.
Yeah. It's a very stylized look.
Again, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to have a woman in a bathing suit as part of the poster.
The 50s were heavy on the women in either bathing suits or lingerie being chased by monsters.
Invaders from Mars.
Yeah. I mean, these creatures and aliens are so fortunate to be able to catch these women in such scantily clad attire and, tasteful as well.
Oh, yeah. So this has become, wow, look at this. Okay, you'll see all this in the exhibition.
Yeah.
But now I'm never going to look at these posters the same way again. Where do you find these things? Because I would imagine back in the day, the run finished. They tore it off the marquee.
That's exactly what happened. And to make matters worse, over the First World War and Second World War, there's these things called paper drives, which were basically big recycling efforts to get all the paper that people weren't using, and to put it in big trucks and wagons and whatever, and haul it off to be recycled. So as a result, there's very few examples of these posters that survive, and a lot of times they've survived because of flukes. A lot of them have been found in between walls used as insulation. A major piece was found 3 years ago in Canada. It was found in a boarded up projection room that no one had opened up for like the last 40 or 50 years.
So old theater that they were refurnishing.
I'm not sure if what the reason was for them to reopen that boarded up room, but as they came into the room, right on the wall was a Frankenstein 3 sheet, and that's. Up until that time, no one had ever seen one or knew one existed, and that's basically how it all works.
So it's like any other art collection.
Yeah, it's like, it's like hunting for gold. There's a lot of pieces out there that I would love to have that have not just been found at all. Like a Bride of Frankenstein 3-sheet, a Dracula 3-sheet. Who knows, When I first started 30 years ago, no one knew that there was a Frankenstein 3-sheet out there or a Mummy 3-sheet. I mean, I found both. And so, it's
Only known copies in the world.
those two are the only known copies in the world. I don't know what's coming around the corner. It's just one of those unpredictable things, and that's also part of the appeal, I think, is that with movie posters, if you want to become a movie poster collector, there's two ways to do it. You go out online and you buy from dealers, or you hit the road. You go out there and you start hitting up movie theaters and antique stores and flea markets and just, anything,
The whole
everything.
Pawn Stars thing.
Yeah, and you can find stuff out there. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff. And I know more than a lot of people who are doing that, probably as we speak right now, they're probably driving to someplace because they heard of an old movie theater that's been boarded up for the last 20 years, but, someone still has the key. That's how it all works.
In my small town, there was a movie theater that goes back to the 1940s, and the building still stands. It's been renovated into something else, but now that you start talking about, what's in the walls?
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
What was papered over?
Yeah, there could be gold in there.
Okay, last question. Regardless of value, your favorite piece?
It probably would be the Mummy 3-sheet. I love that image. It's on my guitar. When I look at it, I just get lost in the colors of it, the composition, just the lushness of it. I just love it. I get lost in this stuff. It's my mind just dives in totally. I'm just somewhere else. It's a amazing effect that this stuff has on me.
Everybody needs to have a hobby, and sometimes the hobby becomes something completely obsessive.
Yep, that's me.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the entire collection when it comes to the Royal Ontario Museum in July.
Yes.
I will be there, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring my dogs, because I know that
Please.
you and I share
Please.
an obsession for English Bull Terriers.
Please, I can't wait already.
All right.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kirk.
All right,
Appreciate
cheers.
it.
All right, cheers.